Hello, ma'am. This is Tech Talk on chemistry subject. My PPT is on discussing energy and environmental issue with consumer. My name is Ramawat Babu Singh, rule number 6715, course code AHSC06, branch CSDA section. Energy and environmental issues. Scientists are now more certain than that human beings are responsible for climate change through the combustion of fossil fuels. A certain global energy assessment report, completed by the International Institute for Applied System Analysis, indicates that globally domestic energy consumption accounts for about a quarter of global greenhouse gases emission. A fundamental shift is energy consumption is needed, moving away from us fossil fuel to meet emission reduction. Here, this picture represents the environmental issues overpopulation, soil combustion, erosion, loss of biodiversity, pollution, deforestation, less of clean drinking water. Energy consumers can be make important contribution to reduce emissions by adopting efficiency and contaminate behavior. Efficiency behavior are action or measure that result in less energy being used for a given level of energy service. Example, uh, insulting a inserting a building and installing large emitting diode bulbs. Settlement behavior or action. The result is less energy service, lowering thermostat setting and switching off lights. Efficiency behavior typically involved in one-off purchase and installment of an application or device and impel a financial cost. Home recruiters and energy efficient applications. Wherever energy requirement behavior tend to low or neither to be done efficiently to achieve energy savings. Research has shown that the behavior changes are a key element in reducing greenhouse gas emission through energy conservation. Research also indicates that it is difficult to encourage the adoption of energy conservation behavior. Commonly used policy instructions such as the provision of information technology innovations and financially innovative have had made success and uptake. For example, the depend responsible by end use customers electrical price increases not only in the line with what economy would predicted. Three fixes for environment problems. Environment socialist Thomas Herbelin wrote about three fixes that can be address environmental issues technologically, cognitive, and structural. Each of these fixes has a different way of approach human behavior change. Technologically fixes such as motion sensor, lighting in case of energy use, try to bypass the human element by modifying their surrounding instead of changing people's behavior or changing the social structures. Social fixes such as fuel efficiency regulations or reduced price for solar panel try to modify human action by regulating the social setting or structures in which these by changing the context context in which people make decision people's choice are assumed to change. Example, higher uptake of solar panel due to the low uptake front cost. Cognitive fixes such as information campaigns gear granted towards connecting a individual energy use with greenhouse gas emission directly attempt to modify human behavior by targeting the attitude, beliefs, and value that affect those behavior. Provides an illustration of these fixes, and next we reflects on some of the thinking behind them and explain why none of them alone sufficiently addresses energy and conservation needs. Here these feature explain about the energy consumption, which is divided into three types: cognitive fix, structural fix, technological fix. Can a technological fix save the day? The perspective of technological fixes to solve energy problems in certain intensing, and there are plenty to choose from. While the most striking example of technology fix thinking may be associated with nuclear fusion or carbon capture and store, we can also see it is the energy efficiency literature when technical advices are seen to offer the main hope of a sustainable energy future and in much of the smart grid building automation and automatic vehicle. But it is striking how rarely, if ever, technological solutions work as planned. For example, households with a programmable thermostat can be more heat energy than those without, and there is a evidence that only a minority of households with certain heating fully understand their control, let alone us them in the way intended by the designers. Only response to this situation is try to edit out human minds misunderstanding, shortcoming through automation and ever purely technological fix. It automated energy maintain rises conserve about the additional energy and the material required for the sensor and the associated hardware, and also about what happened when a system fails or is hacked. Example of the communication we often take for granted in modern energy system are the electrically flow themselves. Between switches, billing system, minorities and alarm system, traffic signals and application efficiency labels that send messages we can read in the design of building and transport system. You can work by daylight here but no there, or charge your vehicle faster if you pay a high price in this place. Here is a cool room for food storage and there is an outdoor space for drying laundry. Often a building gives away little about what is going on inside it in terms of energy flows, pipes, wires, and radiators are printed over or hidden. The structure influence on human behavior. The human behavior the human behavior can be affected by these four structures: economic, environment, technology, and people and the culture. The good news and indicated previously is that there are possibility for bringing about low impact energy outcomes once we stop expecting technology to do all most of the work or addressing complex problems. This includes addresses individual attitude, that is the foremost mentioned cognitive fix, and the social, political, and cultural structures surrounding individual, that is the structure fix. A critical of technology and technology economic model is offered by socialist Lord Lazendier has a springboard for proposing that research be expanded to include, among others, institute networks of sectors, energy systems, and social practices. Analysis that include more social and organized understanding of energy system can help us understand how smart grid development may have very difficult impact on carbon emissions in different countries. Depending on factors such as pattern of different efficiency programs, traffics and arrangement for demand side response, behavioral, organizational, and technological dimensions of change occur together and can be addressed together. Price signals. One example of structural fix in the domain of energy conservation is price signals, which aim towards energy efficiency choice or finally attracts or conservatively make energy insufficient choice or expensive. The use of price signals can be various forms. For example, a substyle or energy efficiency applications at the point of sale or by providing orbit after purchase or subsidy on home retrofit product. These are inherent to encourage energy consumption through rewarding energy efficient consumer choice. The taxation or price hikes, on the other hand, a carbon tax or peak various of peaks price traffics make energy insufficient choice less attractive. In this sense, pricing policies change the relative cost and benefits, which is assumed to be guide behavioral choice of energy consumers. Governments. The importance of providing consumers the right to participate in energy decisions that affect them in also germanating to this situation. Research on energy policy ranging from the uh, large scale adapting of renewable to the more individual use of smart metering has demonstrated the importance of having a transport decision making process. Of particular importance is attention to producer judgment and share governance in individual acceptance of outcomes and belief in the legitimacy of decisions. When trust is lacking among key stakeholders, which is not uncommon given the potential for competing stock in the outcome, the ability to demand on a decision making process viewed as fair can't be understood. The cognitive fix, information provision, largely absent from research on technology or structural fixes, are formative question asking about individual for fundamental motivations, belief, attitude, and value that guide their behavior. Understanding and incorporating these motivation in integral in the designing of the effective communication message and campaigns. This type of question can be seen as aligned with the third or a cognitive fix, which includes a belief that the provision of information can efficiently modify or change individuals' attitude and resulting behavior, thereby solving the problem. The provision of information is a commonly used approach to encourage customers to implement energy efficiency or cultivate behavior. The underlying idea is that by providing consumer with information, they will acquire better knowledge about what they can do to save energy, and this will result in behavior changes. This is known as the knowledge deflect approach. Who can communicate? Provider, regulatory bodies, applications designer, micro generators, installer engineers, metering and other infrastructure, third-party energy service companies, ICTs. This graph represent the communication between some actors in an electrical system. Some of the actors who communicate within a system for providing electricity to houses. It is a flat diagram giving no indication of the relative power and influence of different actors, but it offers an indication of just how many individual organizational human and non-human elements it can to make a system work. Powered by traditional grid electricity along with some disturbed generation such as rooftop solar photovoltaics. Note that there are no one dimension around between the elements in communication occurs with not two. In the rush by marketers and policymakers to tell consumer what they need to do, often with the best of intentions, they can be surprisingly little effect to understand who they are, how they live, and how they think. Note to the middle actors who can efficiency in making technology work for the people who need energy service and for the system that provide it. Markets are unable to do this in purely frictionless way that is some. What is the communication about? This is important when thinking about potential area where communication is needed, such as the following: where improved design and investment are needed for building mobility applications and infrastructure. Colleges, universities, and other sources of professional and traditional development have a role to play as well as the people who developed and applied technical and operational standards. Options for disturbed generation and storage, where network operators, vehicle fleet operators, energy service companies, and traffic designers all need to communicate with each other and with their customers. Person to person communication in the form of energy labels and marketing materials, on site advice program, addicts, advertisement companies, or online material. Technology tops on communication such as control and feedback on energy use and generation. Conclusion: climate change, environment degradation, and the provision of energy service are all complex processing that have to be addressed with many resources, materials, cognitive, moral, social, and political. Research on energy consumption benefits from a great involvement of social science. These articles have highlighted to do much emphasis on either a technological structure or a cognitive fix will not be sufficient to achieve the fundamental sheets in energy consumption needed to meet emission reduction targets. The research literature on consumption energy demand confirm the end to which energy system are social technical in nature, so that purely technical fixes to reduce demand are rare or non-existent. Communication with consumption need to be reflect this using technology as part of the message and in, involving technicians in the process of designing technology. Technology can be developed and implemented that communicate well with their end users. Drawing on social science research about individual motivations, attitude, and behavior. Technicians can take an active part in implementing such as technologies by explaining and developing them with end users. This is a picture which is show the energy consumption of customer, save environment, our earth, and future. This is my PPT on chemistry tech talk. Thank you.